Hi, this is John Hawkins with Gateway Counseling Center. This is our Tuesday night YouTube live where we answer any questions that you have that come in during the week or any questions you might have that come in live online. We are a full service counseling center here in Boynton Beach, Florida. We do individual, couple, family counseling. We've been here a little over, I think 11, 12 years now. We see a variety of clients. I specialize in working with trauma, PTSD, all types of addictions, relationships, and peak performance work with entrepreneurs and athletes, business owners, stuff like that. Um, so our motivation for starting to do this is we do this every Tuesday night at 7:15. Is we just want to be a resource for the community to try to get accurate information out there about mental health issues, relational issues, emotional health, spiritual health, all these kind of things. So email me, post messages throughout the week. I'll always respond to everything. You can reach me at jonh@gatewaycounselingcenter.com. Also on Gateway Counseling Center on Facebook. We have a group called the Mind Zone on Facebook as well. And you can go to our website, gatewaycounseling.com. Any of those resources, Instagram, Gateway C Center. You can DM me on that, whatever we can do to be a help to you. So a couple things tonight that came in that I wanted to address and speak to. One was I get probably, I don't know how many, a few times a week questions on medications. And I would tell you, like, just from my experience of working with so many people, worked with thousands of people at this point, we are an over-medicated society. Most of my clients are coming in here wanting to get off medications. They're just, they've been put on things prescribed a lot of times for years with no plan to get off, no long-term plan, what to do as far as, or the side effects that come with these. And one of the big medications that I see people have issues with are a class of drugs known as benzodiazepines. So these are drugs like Xanax, Klonopin, Ativan. They are central nervous system sedatives, and they are prescribed and handed out like Skittles. And most people have no idea some of the effects, the side effects, that can be long-term permanent in some cases, where if you start using these at really high levels. I'm not against medication in appropriate circumstances, but something like anxiety is for, an acute thing. Like, let's say somebody's having a panic attack or they're going through a really difficult time and they just can't physiologically get their anxiety under control. And so they're, just really flooded and struggled, and like they can't even get stabilized enough to do therapy with them, so things like that. But I don't think anybody should be on these drugs long terms. And anxiety is not a disorder. It is a symptom of other things that are disordered that can be identified and addressed. Every one of my clients we work through, whether it's PTSD, this chronic anxiety, which is misdiagnosed, it's actually forms of traumatic stress. Everything has a root source that you can be resolvable. You should never have to live with chronic anxiety. And, and I've got clients that get here after decades of treatments and medications and therapies. That is a physiological condition. You can't just resolve that talking about it, doing traditional talk therapy. But now we know how ways that we can work with the nervous system and really shift that kind of stuff. So obviously, if you have, been taking these medications for a long time, you don't want to just jump off of them. They can be very dangerous in a lot of situations, but you want to maybe get a plan with a physician in coordination with someone like myself of what your long-term plan is. Because, like I said, it is a mess. They just prescribe things to people. No, I mean, the majority of people are not getting any information about the long-term effects of these, side effects, any of that stuff. They just keep getting treated with it, So the other thing that came in this week, I don't know if it froze there or if you can hear me anymore or not, is issues around weight loss. So I spoke a little bit about anxiety medication. I view that being on this long term is not a good idea. You have to coordinate a plan for you. Anxiety, it can be addressed, eradicated. You don't have to live with chronic anxiety. I can tell you this from working with so many people that it's all resolved. Just have to get to the root cause of it, and has to shift neurologically. They do, that deeper experiential work here to really help clear that out of your nerve. The other issue I wanted to bring up that I guess was issues around food and binge eating, things like that. Again, countless is a particular issue. The biggest reason diets don't work, there is to this when you've had chronic weight loss issue. And on this one video, and I'll give you some examples. So, just it's for me. Let's say if I went through a client where it's some gains, and every time they get to a certain level, all of a sudden all their weight would balloon back. And that I've worked with, a lot of times there was an issue around they had early in life, and so and attractive. Another part of them felt like, oh, if I am target and put me at risk for further sexual assault or abuse, we were conscious of this. I didn't know this until we started working. So it really created, a shock for them that wow, I've had a part working against me the whole time. Like I tell them the really deep. I've had another. It seems like there's external pressure from like a specter from their family or critical comments about their weight. And so one part of that's to lose the weight again, and then maybe another part to have more of a sense of self, or say act and is like, you know what, screw you, I'll gain it all right back. And so there's this, they get frustrated. It's not lack of effort for so many of my clients. I mean, they've been on diets. They get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, go to the gym, and I mean, they're working their tail off. And people are like, well, you just still must be eating too much, or maybe you're not working out hard enough at the gym, and it just demoralizes them. Um, I've had other times where, for many children, whether they went through a lot of aloneness in childhood, could have been trauma, could have been different emotional things they didn't get help dealing with. And so one of the best resources they had at the time as a child was food. So I could reach out for food that brought me comfort. It was like a substitute parent or attachment almost. And so that gets wired into your nervous system, into your attachment system. So now as an adult, it's like, like I start to feel maybe feelings of aloneness or loneliness, different things like that. And then I'm just starting, before I know it, I'm mindlessly eating. I've eaten half a bag of chips, or I've eaten a bunch of food, or binge eat, or, just, it can just really get on this autopilot stuff. So what I would encourage you, if you have any experiences like this, where I've had this long-term up and down with weight thing. For me, I always find a lot of different emotional, psychological issues that drive that weight loss programs do not help you identify and resolve. And this stuff all has to be unhooked and resolved on a deeper subcortical level. We call it, the subcortical brain's under your cortical brain, which is where your thinking and your higher functioning areas of brain are. This part of the brain has more survival focus, and so it's going to kind of win the day when it gets a higher. So I mean, it's really heartbreaking for me to see so many people that have gone up and down with, whether it was weight loss or pornography or gambling. It's all the same underlying mechanisms. And so we offer some programs here where I do the emotional work with you, or the trauma processing. And then we also have products where we can do a detox with you and get you on a nutrition plan that's a livable, sustainable lifestyle, not these extremes that you go up and down like any other addiction. But you really have to get this other stuff addressed first. If you don't, no matter what you know about food, I mean, most of the time when I'm working with someone, they know so much about food and nutrition already, we don't even end up talking about it for the most part. We just get to all these other things, and they're always blown away when we really unpack this stuff and pull it out. They're like, oh, wow, like that's crazy. Do people know about this? This is insane. Like, no wonder I haven't been able to get success. And as soon as we resolve those things, they finally start getting success. And so that answer could be found for you. Those blocks are identifiable. I don't assume what they are when you walk in the door, but I'm just really good at knowing how to look for them. And then we kind of collaborate together and we start to pull it out. And once we got all the pieces on the table, now we know what to work through and resolve them all and get you that success. So the two issues for tonight: medications, anti-anxiety medications are not the long-term solution. I would not recommend anybody be on those medications long-term. If you want to, contact me, I'll give you more information about that. Weight loss, food issues, binge eating, or on the other end, the restricting, um, you can contact me. I'll get into more detail. I can set up a consultation with you and start to identify some of those pieces. But that, I'm telling you, that is what really drives a lack of success for people who have had long-term issues with weight and food. They're a deeper emotional issue. Now you can go to a weight loss program and they'll tell you things like, okay, the emotional part, but it just doesn't go deep enough to actually shift things subcortically. It's really got to be shifted here. So you can reach me again at jonh@gatewaycounseling.com. You can go to our website, gatewaycounseling.com, Facebook, Gateway Counseling Center, the Mind Zone group on Facebook, and on Instagram, Gateway C Center. You can DM me there. So any of those avenues of reaching me, if you feel like any of this information was useful to you or could be useful to somebody we know, please forward it, tag it, whatever you call it on that platform. Since you can send it to somebody, because that's our main goal and focus, is helping people. That's why we do what we do, and we just want to keep finding more and more ways to help people. So thanks for watching the videos. If you feel they benefit somebody else, and I'll see you guys here every Tuesday night at 7:15. Email me questions at jonh@gatewaycounseling.com throughout the week, and I'll speak to anything that you want to know, as much detail as you want to know. If you have questions about tonight, email me there too. And